Welcome to Moonlight Tales by Racheal. Today, we have another interesting story and a fascinating one too. And the title, The Night the River Stood Still. In the heart of the hills, nestled among fields of maize, there lay the village of Obodoli, a village unlike any other. Here, the nights were alive with the hum of crickets, the whisper of the wind, and the laughter of children chasing fireflies under the stars. But above all, Obodoli was known for its river, the great River Udo. By day it shimmered like liquid glass. Yes, it shimmered. But by night it sang. Yes, it sang. A soft melody that wrapped itself around every ear, every heart, every dreamer who listened. The villagers believed the river was alive. They said it could hear their prayers, feel their joys, and even weep when they were in sorrow. In the village lived a boy named Chike, 14 years old, tall, with laughter that filled the air like music, and eyes that sparkled with mischief. But Chike had something else, a spark, a boldness that made him curious, sometimes too curious. One evening, as the sun dipped and painted the sky in gold and orange, Obodoli prepared for its grandest celebration, the moon dance. Drums were tightened, flute polished. Women wrapped themselves in dazzling colors that shimmered like petals in the night breeze. Children ran with lanterns shaped like stars, their giggles carrying into the twilight. By the riverbank, torches were lit, casting long flames that danced against the silver waters of River Udo. And as always, the river sang along with them. But as the drums boomed and the dancers stamped the earth, Chike's eyes wandered. Something glimmered at the far end of the riverbank. There, half hidden among the reeds, lay a golden calabash. It glowed as though it had swallowed a piece of the sun. Chike's heart raced. He had heard stories of the calabash of echoes, an ancient treasure said to hold the very first song the river had ever sang. But surely those were just tales, he wondered. Driven by curiosity, Chike slipped away step by step, barefoot and silent. He approached the shining calabash. Up close, it was even more breathtaking. Carvings twisted across its golden surface, glowing and shifting under the moonlight. Without thinking, Chike reached out his fingers, closed around it, and in that moment, everything changed. The river stopped suddenly. No ripples, no current, no sound. The waters froze like glass. The drums faltered. The dancers froze. One by one, the villagers turned in fear toward the river. And they heard the voice. "Who dares take what is mine?" The voice rose from the depths of the river, ancient and heavy like thunder. rolling across the sky. Chike trembled. His hands shook as he held the calabash, but somehow he stepped forward. I I only wanted to see if it was real, he stammered and whispered. And the elders gasped. They knew what this was, the calabash of echoes, sacred and untouchable. The voice spoke again, softer now, but sharper than any blade. Curiosity can bring joy, but without respect, it can bring silence forever. Chike's heart pounded. Slowly he waded into the shallow water, its coldness wrapped around his feet. Kneeling, he placed the golden calabash back where he had found it. For a breathless moment, nothing happened. The silence was crushing, and then suddenly, a ripple, then another ripple, and suddenly the water stirred alive again. The river sang, but this time its song was louder, sweeter, filled with forgiveness and laughter. It was as though the river embraced the boy and the village. And the drums resumed. The dancers stamped their feet again. The moon dance grew brighter than ever before. But Chike stood quietly at the edge of it all, staring at the river. He knew he had been given a warning and a gift. For in that silence, when the river had stopped, he realized something no one had ever said aloud, that every melody, every blessing, and every breath from River Udo was not to be taken, but to be cherished. That night, as the moon glowed full and the stars blurred bright, the villagers spoke of what had happened. Some called it a miracle, some called it a warning, but all agreed the river had chosen to speak through Chike. From that day on, the boy who once ran wild with curiosity grew into a young man who listened more deeply than anyone else. And whenever he sat by River Udo, the waters seemed to sing louder, as if whispering secrets only he could hear. And so, Obudoli learned a lesson that night, that even the boldest curiosity must walk hand in hand with respect for the world around us. The rivers, the winds, the earth, they are not ours to take, but ours to honor. And if you ever find yourself by a quiet river under the moonlight, listen closely. Who knows? You might just hear it sing. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Moonlight Tales by Racheal. More magical folk tales await you every week. Stay with us and let the stories carry you home. Thank you for watching.